Did you know that there's a ton of research on grip strength, meaning how strong your grip actually is, and living longer? That's what I'm going to dive into today. This is the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. I'm Jerred Moon, and we're going to dive into some quick research on grip strength and longevity. Ultimately, I'll reference a few studies, but also interpret what this could mean, and then ultimately your takeaway and what you should do with the data and in your own training. So there are some pretty big studies. There was a study in the BMJ involving over 500,000 participants, and it found that decreased grip strength was linked to higher all-cause mortality as well as increased incidence of cardiovascular and respiratory disease. There was another study from the Stanford Center on Longevity that indicated that lower grip strength correlates with accelerated DNA methylation age, suggesting faster biological aging. And then there's also a longitudinal study in JAMA that revealed midlife grip strength predicts disability in old age, highlighting its role in maintaining functional independence. And there are a couple of other small tests like this when it comes to health, fitness, and longevity. One is grip strength. The second one is being able to get off the floor without the use of your hands, which comes down to leg strength and mobility. And another big one is your overall VO2 max. So we know if you want to live a longer, healthier life, you need to be doing concurrent training, which is a combination of training your aerobic system and also strength. But here's the deal. When it comes to looking at something like this, you might be thinking, okay, if I want to live longer, I need to have a strong grip. So I'm going to start training my grip. I'm going to get one of those, grip strengtheners or a stress ball, and I'm going to start squeezing it while I'm at my desk. But that's not really the takeaway we have here. It's not just to increase your grip strength, because grip strength is a robust marker. It's hard to develop your grip strength. But you really have to consider, in all of these studies, like many studies, is the healthy user bias. Because individuals with stronger grips often engage in healthier activities, behaviors, habits. They exercise regularly, they have balanced diets, they avoid smoking. And so collectively, that's going to contribute to better health outcome. But the opposite of that, like low grip strength, can absolutely signal like health issues, or you're not training enough, or you don't have a good health profile, these kind of things. But it doesn't mean you just want a strong grip, right? You want all the other things that I mentioned: balanced diet, regular exercise, avoiding bad habits like smoking or drinking alcohol in excess, all of those kind of things. So when we're looking at like, okay, if I want a stronger grip to live longer, what do I actually need to do? And it's not just get a stress ball and a grip strengthener, captain, crush, whatever, and start doing those things, because that's not really what the benefit is. What you want to be doing are big functional movements that can also increase your strength. So anytime a bar is involved, this is going to go a long way for you. And so let's get into that for a second. Dead hangs. You can do dead hangs from a pull-up bar, but that kind of fits into that realm of, okay, I'm just training my grip here. But pull-ups from a bar. So if you want to incorporate grip strength, doing pull-ups and also bar hangs, now we have a bar involved, we're getting functional movements. Pull-ups are probably one of the best exercises for the upper body that you could possibly do. You're engaging so many different muscles, you're training your grip strength. And if you want to just combine these two, superset them. So do 5, 10, 15, how many ever strict pull-ups that you can do. And then in the set with a bar hang, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, as long as you can hold. And that workout just increased its difficulty by several fold. And you're starting to train an isometric muscle contraction, which is one of the three that need to be trained for true strength: isometric, concentric, and eccentric. So that's one way that you can start training that's functional, that builds more muscle mass, because that's really the idea behind what we want. We want more muscle mass. We don't just want more grip strength, because you can get a stronger grip without being necessarily any healthier. but building more muscle mass in a way that contributes to more grip strength is ultimately what you want. Another thing that you can do in that same vein with a bar is just doing thick bar training. If you don't want to just train grip and do, bar hangs or any of those kind of things, you can just start training with a thicker bar. They have grips now that you can put on your current barbell. You can get fatter barbells. You can get fatter pull-up bars. In fact, for years, I had this yoke from Rogue that just had a super thick crossbar, like horizontal bar. It wasn't really made for pull-ups. It's made for like you lowering it, and it's a yoke so you can like carry it and all those kind of things. You put it on your back. So they didn't want it to be a pull-up bar, but it's super thick. And that's all I had for several years. And I did most of my pull-ups on that. So I got really good at fat bar pull-ups and really trained my grip in a significant way. But if you want to just keep doing things that you're already doing while also building the muscle mass and developing the grip strength, just train with a thicker bar. Like I said, either buy the grips that go on your bar that can make the bar thicker, or get a fatter pull-up bar. Do anything that you can to just start training with a thicker bar. It's going to go a long way. Now, the last thing I have is anytime you can carry something in your hand, farmer's walk, suitcase carry, like whatever you want, with dumbbells, with kettlebells, with barbells, odd objects, water canisters, anything you can. I'm a huge fan of these and doing them for very long distances. So there are two ways to train these. You could grab like a heavy kettlebell or heavy barbells or whatever you have that's really heavy, and you could think about it more in the strongman sense or fashion, to where you're doing like 25 meters, 50 meters, 100 meters, something like that all at once. And that's to, go a little bit more anaerobic. It's definitely way more taxing on the grip. It should be pretty heavy. But the other way I like to do this that trains both your aerobic system and you're getting some grip training is go light and carry far. So if we're talking about like, okay, I could carry a 70-pound kettlebell, 100 meters before I feel like I have to drop it. Well, what can you do with a 20 or 30-pound kettlebell? And could you walk a mile like that? Could you walk 2 miles? This is something I've done a number of times. It's kind of like a Meet Yourself Saturday workout, where I just walk as far as I can before I have to set it down. And I'll do that 2 or 3 times, like away from my house, and then I'll start coming back. And it's so much worse on the way back, because once you start to lose grip strength, it gets really hard. So this workout is very challenging. And so here's my recommendation, the full workout, and it's going to help you build a great aerobic base as well. Grab a light to medium kettlebell, start with the right hand, walk as far as you can. It's going to start burning until you feel like, you know what, I need to set this thing down. Set it down. You can rest 5-10 seconds, whatever you need to. You shouldn't be overly taxed from the aerobic standpoint, so you don't want to stop for very long. You want to try and keep your heart rate up. And then you switch to the left hand. And then you go about as far as you can with the left hand before you have to set it down. And you're going to do this 2 or 3 times. So right hand as far as you can, left hand as far as you can, right hand, left hand. If you're doing it twice, if you're doing it a third time, right hand, left hand. Now, this is you walking away from your house, assuming you're a garage gym athlete, as far as you can. Now you need to come back. And you're going to do the same thing. Right hand, left hand, as far as you can. But you're going to notice you did it in 3 sets on the way out. Might take you 6 on the way back. Might take you 8. Might take you 16. To where you're switching off a ton, because the grip strength goes and then starts to burn, and it's really hard. And you'll notice you're getting your heart rate up. You're improving your grip strength. You'll probably be in zone 2. You're improving your aerobic base without having to do something boring like zone 2 running, which can be boring, but also super beneficial. So that is one of my favorite ways to train the ultimate longevity, like cocktail, right? Is like aerobic training, but while carrying something. It's just a phenomenal way to build that aerobic base and also get some grip strength in there. So that's it for this one. If you'd like to increase your grip strength and live longer, plenty of ways to do that. For all of our athletes out there who are training, getting better, harder to kill at Garage Gym Athlete, we really appreciate it. If you want to be a part of our training, go to garagegymathlete.com. We would love to have you. Remember, if you don't kill comfort, comfort will kill you.